guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. Say it with me. I'm YouTube famous. I'm not going anywhere, but I did just record this video and I ran out of space on my camera and I'm losing my voice because I'm really sick, but I wanted to upload this video today and I'll explain to you why. So if you go back to one of my very first videos on this channel, what I said was that I was going to have like a weekly schedule, right? Where like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I did something different every day. Actually, Saturday and Sunday, I was going to do it too. And one of the things I talked about on there was that I was going to do motivational Mondays. How corny is that, right? Where I described like how to make your life a certain way, how to get over breakups, which is a big one I get asked a lot about, you know, how to live your dream life, how to, like, one of the things I've been thinking about doing recently is a video, because so many women watch my channel, is doing a video about like, for your boyfriends and husbands to watch, teaching them how to be better boyfriends and husbands, like in 10 points or less, right? So what do you guys think about that idea? Do you like that? And of course, like Tuesdays would be top 10 Tuesdays. I've really slacked on that this week, but I'm going to get back to it next week. You know, Wednesdays would be, I don't know, wacky Wednesdays. What's that? Who knows? Saturdays would be storytime Saturdays. Sundays would be, I don't know, sexy Sundays or something. I don't know. If you guys like this idea of a schedule, put it in the comment section below. If you have some suggestions for what you'd like to see in those sections or those days or whatever, let me know. But today, I'm going to start by doing Motivational Mondays on Thursdays, because it's Thursdays. This voice is kind of sexy, don't you think? Woof, daddy. Well, that wasn't very sexy, but I do wish my voice was like low and natural like this, like Kathleen Turner. I do kind of like it a little bit better than my natural voice, but it hurts so much to talk that I want my voice back. So anyway, I was thinking about like what motivational video could I do first, because so many people contact me and they're like, you're so inspiring, you're so motivational, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I was like, well, what can I do my first video on that would kind of encapsulate all of this? And so the first video I thought I would do would be how to live your dream life, okay? So many people ask me that. They're like, you have such a cool life. Like, they come into our house and they're like, oh my God, your house is so cool, right? And not cool because like it's decorated with like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stuff, but we have like artwork everywhere, record players are always playing, candles are always lit. It always smells fantastic in there. It smells like a difference between like baked goods in the kitchen and like, not because we cook. But you know, it's like the windows are open, the dogs are running around. It's very homey and lived in, but it's very artsy and bohemian as well. And then they're like, oh my God, and you're a writer and you make these YouTube videos and you have so much fun and you're always talking about the last book you read and you just went and bought a new record and blah, 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 the used record store and all this. They're like, you have such a cool life, right? Is this your dream life? I'm like, this is totally my dream life. And they're like, well, how did you get your dream life? Like, how did you get there? So many people ask me that. So I was sitting down last night and I work on this a lot with people, but I work with it individually, like parts of this. I don't work with it all over. And you know, this is the thing about living your dream life. I think a lot of times we think like if we're 40 or 50, like time has passed us by. And I can remember when I turned 40, like the hardest part for me, people are like, oh, do you feel like you're over the hill or you're getting older? And I thought, no, baby. The way I feel is that I feel like time is running out. Like there are things I want to do. And I've got to make sure that I do them now. I want to live my life to the fullest, okay? I want to put in 100% every day to have the most amazing life possible. Life is short. We could be gone like that. So anyway, I was thinking about this because I have like a lot of teenagers that follow me. And it's so cool. I love teenagers following me. I love teenagers snapping me from class and things like that. So cool. So anyway, I was thinking about like when I was in high school, nobody really talked to me about like accomplishing my dreams, like dream goals and things like that. My dad and my mom did. My dad always taught me, do what you love and the money will follow, which has been true to my life. But nobody talked to me about like, what is your dream? Like, what is it you want to do with your life? And that wasn't until I was about 30 that I started kind of like evaluating that. And then when my mom passed away, I was 36 and I was like, oh my God, like life is running out. My mom is gone, right? Like what's next? Me. So anyway, I started thinking a lot at that point about what I wanted my life to look like, what I wanted to look like, what I wanted my dream life to look like, and I have gone full blast and gotten that. So I think no matter what you're 15 or 50 or 69 or 34 or 22 or whatever age you are, it's never too late to chase your dreams. But I think in high school we don't talk enough about that. So this is kind of for you guys. I think in college, especially the last year or two, you find yourself hanging out, partying, drinking, and you're like, this is not what I want of my life, but this is what I want now. So you don't think 10 years in the future, and then all of a sudden you find yourself graduated with no job, living at home, and you're like, what am I doing? Like, I don't know where I want to be, right? You know, and then we have kind of midlife crisis between 30 and 50, which I hate that word, midlife crisis. I think it's, you know, self-awareness. We realize I'm not living the life that I want to live. And so people make rash decisions. But how is it that we accomplish our dream life? So I'm going to help you with that today. So the first thing that you need to do in 10 points or less if my voice doesn't run out first, is that you need to identify your dreams, but you need to back them up with a reality of income. And what I mean by that is that there's probably less than 1% of the world that is fortunate enough to be able to have the finances to go live their dreams and do what they love on a regular basis, okay? It just doesn't happen for a lot of people. That they just have trust funds, or their family takes care of them, or they marry into money, or whatever, they just have money, or whatever, that they don't have to worry about it. And a lot of dreams are expensive, and a lot of dreams are not expensive. You know, I mean, some people want to travel around the world and they want to do it all at resorts. Some people want to travel around the world and do it at hostels, and it's cheaper. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to accomplish your dreams, but you have to figure out what your dream is first, right? And that dream can be anything. It could be like, I want to be a piano player, singer, playing on Broadway. Or it could be like, I want to be a best-selling author. Or it could be, I could be a YouTuber. Or it could be, I want to be a hairstylist. Or it could be, I want to work at Sephora. Or it could be, I want to be a YouTuber. Or it could be whatever you want it to be, okay? It doesn't matter what your dream is. But we have to identify what those dreams are first. And a lot of times what I do with people that I'm working with is I have them make a list of 10 dream jobs. And I say these things can be anything from like a person that makes coloring books, to a deep sea diver, to a princess, to whatever your dream is. But let's look at that and let's see what the common themes are behind that. And then let's, after we've come up with a list of 10, let's number them in order of what your number one dreams are. And I can tell you, whatever your 1, 2, and 3 is on that list of 10 is probably what your 1, 2, and 3 is in life, okay? So then we need to come up with a list of dreams, of dream worlds that we want to live in, not just careers, but what do we want our life to look like? You know, and I remember years ago I read this book from Sark, who did this creative, Making Your Creative Dreams Come True book. What she said in there was that 15% of the people that she works with know what their creative dream is. The other 85% don't know what it is, but they know they want to have one. And I think that is true. For me, I've always known I wanted to be famous, and I wanted to be a writer. Those are the two things I always wanted. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love to win an Oscar and be an actor, but I don't see that happening to me for today. But tomorrow it may happen, I don't know. They just haven't called me yet for the audition. And one of the things I used to say to the kids that I worked with is the only difference between me and Tom Cruise is that he showed up for the audition and I didn't. I mean, there's a lot of differences between me and Tom Cruise, don't get me wrong. I'm better looking for one, and that is crazy. But he showed up for the audition. Had I shown up for the audition, I might be Tom Cruise right now, and my ex-wife might be Katie Holmes because I really am gay. So anyway, but you got to figure out what your dreams are first, right? But you have to have a backup of that. You know, even Toni Morrison, the writer, talked about when she wrote her first book, which I think is beloved. You know, she said she would work all day long, come home, feed her kids. She was a single mom. Feed her kids, put them to bed after doing their homework, and then she would write for 3 or 4 hours. But she had to pay the bills and feed her kids and do all that kind of stuff first. That was primary. We have to have a realistic way of like the income behind the dream. Does that make sense? You can't just travel and say, well, I'm just going to travel. You have to have some idea of how that's going to happen. Number 2 is you have to figure out who you want to be in this dream world, right? Like, do you want to be this person that doesn't care about money, doesn't care about clothes, doesn't care about what kind of car you drive or where you stay? Do you want to be a person that like everything is important to you as far as like what kind of car you drive, what kind of clothes you wear? I mean, if it's somebody that you need to have like live, you know, high on the hog, that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not judgmental. It's just, who are you? For me, I'm somebody that like, I like to have money because it gives me security. And I like to travel, but I don't need to have so much money that I'm wearing like the most expensive things, driving the most expensive car, things like that. I live a very bohemian life. Like, people come into our house and they're like, oh my God, your house is so cool. I already said that. You know, but like, I like to wear different kinds of clothes, and I don't really, you know, like thrift stores I love, and I love going to music festivals and just being artsy and different. That's who I am. And fortunately for me, that doesn't take a lot of money to dress that way or be that person or buy those records or have those candles, right? But if the lifestyle that you want is going to be one that's going to take you a lot of money, then you're going to have to figure out a way to, like, you know, finance that. Okay. You might want to ask Charles Gross. He seems to be doing pretty good. Okay, number 3 is that you need to listen to those who care about you. See, I have notes. But you need to make your own decisions because you will want to blame it on them later. And what I'm saying is that, like, family members around us a lot of times will discourage our dreams, okay? Not because they're dream killers, which I think is a lot of times what we think, but because they're afraid for us. They're like, oh, you know, Judy wants to go be an actress on Broadway, but she's going to have to be waiting tables and she'll probably never get landed in a role. What they don't know is that maybe you waiting tables at 3 different restaurants in New York City auditioning for roles is what makes you happy. That is your dream. That would make you be fulfilled. And then you like end up going to college and becoming an elementary school teacher, and at 45 you wake up bitter and you're like, Mom, I'm pissed. You told me to have a real job. I could be in Broadway. I'll never know, but I'm sitting here as an elementary school teacher. Whatever decision you make, you have to make it for yourself because you don't want to blame them later. Resentments are unfulfilled expectations. We have resentments towards people because the things that we think that life is supposed to, the ways that we think that life is supposed to turn out don't. And then we want to blame somebody for that. I don't blame anybody for anything today. I'm like, do I really? No, I don't blame anybody for anything today. I take responsibility for my own life, okay? And that's what you want for yours as well, because then they can't take advantage of they can't say that they own your successes either. Okay. Number 4 is you need to have one and only one person that you run by all your things, okay? You need to have your good Judy, your best friend. I say that all the time on here. And for me, that person is my best friend, Tanya. And what I mean is somebody that's outside of your family, somebody that a good friend will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, okay? It's the girlfriend that comes over to your house and you got on this dress and you say to her, do you think this dress is cute? She goes, no, baby, that dress is horrid. Don't wear that. You will not look your best, okay? A bad friend is somebody that will say, oh, I think that dress is cute, because they don't want to tell you otherwise. And they also know they'll look cuter than you at the party. We don't need that friend. That friend needs to go. I need a friend that will tell me things from an outside point of view because they love me and they want the best for me. Sure, I think maybe you need to move to New York if that's what your dream is, but do you have a couple $1,000s saved? Because I don't want to see you, on the first bus back with your tail between your legs. That won't make you happy. I want you to accomplish your dreams and be successful. The number 5 is you need to make lists. I have notebooks of lists of my, dreams, lists of my goals. Every year I don't do New Year's resolutions, I do New Year's dreams. And I make a list of all the dreams I want to accomplish that year. I also have bucket lists. Years ago, I had a bucket list. I started a bucket list after my mom passed away. And the first 2 things on there was I had never had blueberry pancakes and I never had chocolate chip pancakes. And my friend Melissa took me to International House of Pancakes. She was like, we're having these today. I mean, for what? $15? They were delicious. And I got to cross those things on my bucket list. I don't need to go to Egypt. That's not number 1 on my bucket list. There's a lot of things I can accomplish in my daily life, right? The other thing is that my friend Brittany, who has had huge success in her life and is very happy and very fulfilled most of the time, she told me years ago, she said, we were talking on the phone one night, and she said, you need to make a list of all your dreams. You need to write them down, and you need to read them every day so you can start visualizing them and put action to them. Only when you visualize them and put action to them will these things happen, and she believes in the secret full-heartedly. Flash forward 3 months, I'm talking to her on the phone. I'm like, girl, these things are not happening to me. I mean, none of these things are happening. She goes, well, how often are you reading your list? I said, I don't know, like once or twice a week. She said, I told you got to read it several times a day. You've got to look at that list of dreams and goals several times a day and ask yourself, what action am I putting to these goals? What action am I putting to these dreams? Am I doing something to accomplish them? I started doing that. They started to come true. You can have your dream life. It's that easy. But they're not going to happen just while you're sitting back waiting for them to happen. You have to do something about them. My husband just called. He's probably wondering where I'm at. I told him I was making a video. You should have listened to me. Number 6 is visualization. That's what I was just talking about, okay? Is that you have to be able to visualize these things. Really sit down. If you make vision boards and cut out things from magazines and look at them and say, like, this is what I want my life to look like, a certain car, a certain body weight, or whatever. But don't be unrealistic with yourself. Give yourself growing room, But visualize those dreams every day. If you want to drive a certain car, what does that look like? What's it going to take for you to make that car payment? Is that even worth it to you after you start visualizing it? If you want to live in a certain kind of home with a white picket fence and a farm or whatever with horses, what does that look like to you? Do you visualize yourself singing on a stage? What does that look like? What are you singing? See it, realize it, visualize it, make it real in your head. If you can't, it will never happen for you. If you're not making your dreams come true, nobody else is, trust me. Very few of us are picked off the street to be supermodels and actresses. It just doesn't happen. Okay, number 7 is you need to be happy. Life is short. So many people that I know in my life, and I did this for a very, very long time. My husband almost left me over it, is that I felt the negative instead of the positive. And one day he just said to me, he goes, you're so negative. It's like you always see the negative in everything. It was like, life is so short. There are so many things to be happy about. The very first birthday of his that we had together, he invited 40 people to this like pool party thing outside somewhere. 40 people. 3 came. It was 4 of us there total with Alex. And I said to him when we were leaving, I was so pissed. I said, can you believe none of those people showed up? And I said, I can't believe none of those people are your friends. He said, I would rather focus on the 3 people that came than the 37 that didn't. Woke my ass up. He always sees things from the positive, and I love it about him. It's so much easier to be negative and harsh about life, and life is too short. It's just not worth it. Get rid of that negative Nelly attitude today. Number 8, fall in love and be open to getting hurt. I have fallen in love so many times, and not just with people, but with things, with dreams, with ideas, and I get hurt and my dreams are killed on a daily basis. It's okay. It's okay. But we have a heart to fall in love with and have those emotions and those feelings. You will get over this. You will be on the other side, and you will be okay. Anybody that has fallen in love, been hurt, and made it to the other side will realize that you will be hurt, but you will be okay. You may fall in love and never be hurt. It may be the true love of your life for the rest of your life. But I am so glad I kept on getting back up on that horse. And allowed myself to fall in love over and over and over again. It's one of the most magnificent things in life. Number 9, travel or stay in one place. And what I mean by that is that if you're going to travel, figure out where you want to go and start making realistic plans about it. Or stay in one place and read about it. Be an armchair traveler, but see the world through books and movies and travel. The world is an amazing place. The cultures of the world, the races, the genders, the sexualities, the world is an amazing place of food and smells, and enjoy it all, whether you're reading about it or traveling and going to see those places. And the last thing is define gratitude daily. I have people that I work with make gratitude lists on a daily basis of 3 to 5 things they're grateful for in their own lives, 3 to 5 things they're grateful for about their partner. We have to understand that gratitude is the gift that keeps on giving. We have to be able to look at the taste of a strawberry, the taste of a cup of coffee, a family member who's still in our life, one more day to live, one more movie to watch. We need to be so grateful for those small things in life and the big things in life and all of it. Life is truly wonderful. It is truly a gift. So I hope I inspired and motivated you guys to live your dream life. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. And wait till next Monday when I do another Motivational Monday. I'll talk to you guys later. I love you. Bye.